let's talk about Xdefiant for a minute here. Xdefiant is supposedly the COD killer. I don't know why everybody's talking about it, but it sure is not because of the game itself. It's not a VR, it's a classic multiplayer game, so it can't compete with the classic Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. This is what we have to compare. So we keep in mind that we're talking only about Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer and Xdefiant, and not Modern Warfare 3 Warzone or Resurgence, whatever. Okay? No VR. And if we want to compare it to each other, graphics great. I like the color setting. It is not too foggy like Call of Duty is. It has a great overall look, and it really is relatable. So you can see it doesn't want to be a military sim by any means. It wants to be a multiplayer arcadey type of game, and you definitely can feel it. It doesn't take itself too serious, if that makes sense. Call of Duty, on the other hand, I really don't know if they themselves know what they want to be right now. It's kind of sometimes they want to be a mil-sim, realistic, arcadey shooter, but then they just don't want to be it. They tend to put in ridiculous skins that doesn't fit into the whole theme of Call of Duty. And it kind of, you know, nullifies everything they want to be from the beginning. Like every Call of Duty comes out and it feels like it's a military shooter, and then they do add stuff that doesn't fit into the game. Xdefiant doesn't have this problem because on its release date, Xdefiant is a fun shooter with abilities, so it doesn't necessarily have to take itself too serious and doesn't necessarily have to be a mil sim compared shooter. That makes sense. I think you get what I'm saying. That's one. So by everything, graphics fine, look fine, cool, it fits together. I think it really is bullseye if you say it's a mix between Overwatch and Call of Duty somehow. So it has that. I don't think there is overpowered mechanics in the game right now. Movement feels good. I don't say, and I don't state it is very good or extraordinary or something like that. It is good. You have to get used to the movement because it feels like it's a little, like sometimes it feels like running on soap. Same with aiming and control of your crosshairs. It feels like sluggish sometimes. So it's not that fluid. It feels like it doesn't stop when you want it to stop, or it doesn't, there's an acceleration in your movement, something like that. But maybe I haven't figured out all settings yet. But overall, good movement, good aim. You have to get used to the bullets when you fire, because you have to lead your gun even up close quarters, which is not the case in Call of Duty. We have hit scan there depending on bullet velocity. We all know about that. Dividing bullet velocity by 2 and then by 10, and you have the meters on which you have hit scan. You don't have hit scan here. The bullet travels in all distances, at least from what I've experienced right now. But it's not bad, it's not bad. You just have to get used to it. And it adds kind of a skill there, and a skill gap you have to overcome to get better at the game, and I like that. There's no wildlife like cancel, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, like in Call of Duty. So like you can move, and movement is definitely part of the game in terms of having skill to get better at it. But I think you probably won't witness anybody, you know, sliding around, jumping around, running around like crazy. TTK, important part. You have the health bar, which I'm not a huge fan of. I know we had that in some Call of Duties too. Right now we don't have it. I'm glad about that. I don't like it. It's like you shoot health bars and not the players. It adds a data to the game that people get, especially the enemy. And I can give you an example here. If I was in a gunfight and I won that but I'm only sitting at maybe 40% of my health, the next player approaches, he does already know I'm only at 40% health, so he will rush me. Okay, this is what I mean by they have intel and data about you, which is good for their knowledge to win a gunfight or not. Otherwise, they could maybe just back up because they don't know if you're on full health or not. This like kind of adds a different experience for the game, and I don't like health bars at all. Whether or not you're liking it, it's personal preference, but this is what it does different from the actual Call of Duty. TDK itself is good. Sometimes it feels like I died, but it's too quick, but it's probably because I stood still. Like I said, you have to lead your bullets. And this adds a whole nother aspect of TTK. The guns are alright, they kill quick, but not too quick, I think. But sometimes it's hard to get away. It's right in the middle where you think it's alright, but sometimes it feels fast. But it's okay, I think you can play with it and it's good. Snipers, still great. Different kind of snipers, some hit over longer distance, one shot, some don't. The overall game feeling, gun feeling is good. Like I said, nothing too overpowered. You have to minimize your recoil. Everything is fine. It's just, there's nothing really to talk about it. The unlock system feels good too. It's not too quick. It adds a grind feeling that is nice. But we'll have to wait for the long run if it's kind of boring to do it for every gun over and over again to level it up. Right now, from the beginning on, it's okay. It's not too quick, not too fast, but on the same, you know, it's not too slow, which I like in comparison to Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has too many attachments. I talked about what could you do better in terms of having different attachments, put them in the same category with the same values, but use them as customization for the guns, so everybody can, you know, build their gun as they like without damaging their recoil values or whatever. So this is what Call of Duty does bad right now. Too many attachments that you don't use, and Xdefiant probably does it better. Not too many attachments, and probably every attachment or most of them has their own value, and you have to choose what attachment you want to use in terms of your game style. So not a COD killer, not at all. Multiplayer feels different. You have a nice objective here. Different objective game modes. It definitely can be more team play, definitely more than Call of Duty, because you have different classes and abilities that can support each other. So that is good too. That's good too. It is. So I like it. Would I say it's a COD killer? Like I said, no, definitely not, because it's too different. And at the same time, you know, Call of Duty is much more than just multiplayer. But overall, it's just a cool game that you can't put next to Call of Duty, you know, to get in a different mood, to see something else, to get into detail, to dive into the mechanics of it, to figure out everything that is cool in the game and that is good, finding the meta, finding out about new maps. And because it does it different than Call of Duty, I think it's a great addition to it. But as its own game, it stands as a very good game right now, I think, by its own. This is just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Okay? So let me know what you think about it. For now, it's great to have something else. I will definitely play it over the next days and weeks. Yes, that's it.